Aries, this is an interesting message, and it feels like you are becoming aware of something or have become aware of something that feels backstabbing, some type of betrayal, and it feels like it's related to there being another person in your connection, maybe a third party situation here. Dragonfly is out here. It says lighthearted and adapt, finding out and change, things coming to light and heal. So it just feels like revelation energy, someone that you're dealing with or maybe that you're interested in, having some other things kind of happening, going on, and you are clear and have become aware of that. Seduction out here, and it says attraction, teasing, hooking up, and date, third party, temptation, and this popped out in reverse. And so what that feels like is that for some of you, Aries, it could be that you have a suspicion there's something else going on than what is being named and addressed openly and clearly. You have some suspicion, but maybe in some ways you're not wanting to believe what it is that you are suspecting is happening for some of you. Now, for others of you, Aries, you are at a place where you are aware of this betrayal. You are aware of this other person or this other energy that is kind of in your connection right now. So I'm going to get some cards out here to refine this message, and then we'll get some advice. If anyone is DMing you, private messaging you, pretending to be me, friend, it is not. Please report and block them, okay? God, angel, spirit guides, for my lovely Aries here, tell us more about the energy that they're working through in their love life. What is the energy that they are working through right now? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Help us understand, who are they at this time? Where are they working through? The overall essence of their energy for Aries. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Let's see. Okay, so some emotions here. Kind of feels painful, whatever you're working through. Needing some patience, trying to have patience, but there's something about suspicion too. Okay, so there are two things. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Some of you have some suspicion that someone is doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or someone has another admirer, or they're engaging with someone else, but maybe not exactly trusting the intuition because, you know, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Intuition, is upside down. So that's lacking that trust, but still feeling it. And then with the Temperance being here, it's kind of like trying to have patience, trying to keep these suspicions and emotions under wraps to kind of keep things cool and chill. And then for others of you, you're very much clear about what has happened, as I said earlier, and it's causing you to be really, really in your emotions. Someone here is crying, they're in pain, they're feeling the pain. You know, it's hard for them to have patience, to have clear communication about what has happened, because there has been so much pain connected to this situation. God, angel, spirit guides, tell us more about why the Queen of Cups is here in reverse for Aries. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Why is the Queen of Cups here in reverse for Aries? Let's see. Yeah. There's betrayal, deceit, someone probably trying to leave someone high and dry, you know, having some other kind of plan, being two-faced, being sneaky for sure, working through that. And then we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So someone not really being that. It kind of feels like the kind of betrayal where someone presented themselves to be one way, to be a loving provider, co-parent. You know, when we do a love reading, we want to see the King and the Queen of Pentacles, because that means that they're committed. So that's what we're thinking about when we see that. It means solid, committed person. They're going to offer the security of commitment. Sometimes it has to do with the money and, you know, being a provider, but really it's just an ideal lover for a connection that we tend to desire. But this being in reverse, it just feels like this person was not exactly honest about who they were. They had some type of mask up. They had a persona that gave the illusion that they were the King of Pentacles, but they're really not. And they have a whole, kind of feels like they have a whole nother backdrop, a whole nother life right now that's been going on. Excuse me, friends. Gotta do this. They've been having a whole nother life, a whole nother situation that they have been dealing with, and they've been lying in some way. It feels like betrayal. What's fascinating, Aries, is when I was doing the Oracle deck, meditating on the energy before I came on camera, the backstabbing love oracle came out. And for whatever reason, I just put it back in the deck and I kept meditating and shuffling through the energy. And so with more swords kind of coming out here, it kind of feels like that. This feels like betrayal. This feels like lying. This feels like deceit for sure. Now I'm going to get some Aries out here. I'm going to get some advice out here for you, Aries. Now, it's hard because, you know, the Temperance card is out here. This lets me know that maybe there is communication happening that's painful. You know, it could be, Aries, you're letting someone know, like, how could you, and, you know, maybe even wanting to be a little bit on some revenge type stuff. And I feel like there's a caution, because when the Temperance card comes out during a time like this, it feels like Spirit wants you to be very careful, because if this person has been lying about A, B, C, and D, they could be a whole different kind of person. So you just want to be careful in terms of your safety and your protection right now with what you share, what you do. So it feels like Spirit wants you to be cautious against being impulsive. So this is impulse control right now as you're going through this thing that feels painful and like betrayal. God, angel, spirit guides for Aries. What is the advice that you have for Aries working through this loving, healing advice? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. This kind of feels more of like what's happening. The advice is all about you accepting what this is. This is the advice. Spirit wants you to accept what you're seeing. Spirit wants you to accept what has been revealed to you. Not all of you, Aries, but there's someone I'm speaking to that might be still in a little bit of denial, still hoping that they'll be able to salvage this. Like, maybe if I let them know how bad this hurts me, you know, maybe they'll really clean up their attitude and their act. And the kind of cards that are popping out is telling me more of the story. And it kind of feels like Spirit wants to just make it very painfully clear about what it is that you're dealing with. Okay, I know this is a tough message, definitely not a message for everyone, but for whoever is needing this right now. So this is the Knight of Cups. This is the romancing. This is the getting you to the place where you're vulnerable enough to open up to believe that this is the kind of connection that you want. And then there's the Tower out here. So this is some water sign energy. You could be dealing with someone who is a Cancer, who is a Pisces, who is a Scorpio, because we have all water sign cards out here. But it also means you and the emotions. You're finding out that this romancing you, this trying to court you, it wasn't exactly what it seemed, and everything's being revealed to you now, and it kind of feels like facing that right now. The love has been turned upside down with the Ace of Cups, and then you have the Four of Cups here in reverse. And so this particular love has been disrespected. It's been perverted, okay? This love, it was nothing like what you thought it was. This person is not a good person. Whoever this energy is, not that they're not a good person in life, okay, cross watcher, you know, I love you, cross watcher, but for this particular connection, what you and this person is creating, it's not healthy for you or this other person. So the Four of Cups is kind of, you know, you're probably going to have a season where you're resistant, you're reluctant for a while, because this feels like it's very kind of extreme. Like, this situation feels like it's kind of extreme, and so you're going to have that for a while. But Spirit wants you to know that at some point, the love that you want, the joy that you deserve, it's going to come around, and you're going to come out of this phase of being guarded. But yes, you're probably going to need to take a moment and just be with what has happened, take the lessons from what has happened, and recover in your own timing. But the overarching message for whoever this message is resonating with is that you cannot unsee what has been shared with you. Spirit wants you to be well and wants you to come out of a place that feels confining and restricting. The true love that you deserve is in the world for you to have. You do not have to tolerate anyone who is not able or willing to share with you who they truly are. That's a dangerous territory to be in with love. Love has no shame. Love does not hide. And so if there's some of that happening, it's a clear sign to you that there's something better that you can have once you decide to go ahead and remove yourself, accept the truth, accept what it is that you need to accept, and move forward and move on, okay? That's what I have for you, Aries. I love you. If you're interested, I have a personal TikTok. You can check that out. It'll be linked somewhere here on the screen. It's self-love messages daily and a little bit of humor, some beauty, vloggy kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. Just please, friend, don't laugh at my very small but mighty community once you get over there. I love you so much, and I hope that you are well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye.